I think we've got to start with the realisation that supply chains are the central nervous system of the business. I'm Gattorna from Gattorna Alignment. Today we're in a new world of volatility where we now have these big spikes, these black swan type disruptions. We can expect a 2-month disruption roughly every 5 years. On average, companies would lose 42% of 1 year's EBIT every 10 years as a result of unplannable disruptions. So the problem we've got today is it goes beyond uncertainty to unpredictability. The multiple objectives that supply chains now have to address are customer satisfaction, margin, sustainability, resilience, and adaptation. We've got to look at the world from outside in. We've got to understand what our customer buying behaviours are, how quickly you respond to very demanding customers who want short lead times. I think it's fair to say that globalisation over the last 30 or 40 years, from a strictly supply chain point of view, I think it's peaked. It's like anything else in life. There's never one solution. It's going to be a hybrid approach, what we call sovereign supply chains, so that we can reinvest in things like manufacturing back into regions. And if things go wrong in the future, we're not relying on long supply chain issues to address. People talk a lot about resilience. It's measured by the time to recover from a major disruption. And if we get too lean, our supply chain networks get very brittle. And when something happens, they break. It forces us down the route of thinking more innovatively about more sophisticated solutions. So there's some exciting times ahead, but I think we're in a period of change. The really big capability I think businesses are going to need is the idea of digitisation of data all along the supply chain. The holy grail is to be able to get to a point where we've got end-to-end visibility, because if that's the case, we are able to see what's happening real time. I know companies that have started on this process in 2011 and are still working on it. But what about those companies that haven't even started today? Because if we can get that, we can make quicker decisions that's going to give us a competitive advantage. The idea of "it ain't broke, don't fix it" was a good quote during the 60s and 70s, but it's absolutely the opposite now. The name of the game in the next 10 years is the ability of management to be able to make decisions faster than their competitors. In other words, if you're not on the digital pathway now, you're going backwards.